What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you're having a great start to your week, great start to your Monday morning. I wouldn't be making a video, definitely if I didn't have to, but there is a chance for some flooding across the southeast today, especially around Georgia and the Carolinas, and the coastal areas of the Carolinas is what I'm really worrying about. So if you're from Savannah to Charleston, if you're in Charleston and you live in Charleston, you're familiar with Charleston, you know that they flood very easily, especially when you have a full moon in place and you have rain falling. And that is the case today, as it is the 20th. So you have a full moon. If you look at the full moon cycle, if you will, the high tides will be insane today due to the full moon. So as we switch off here, that was the radar in place, moving moisture in. So looking right here, you have a slight risk for excessive rainfall in this area down here. So if you were looking at the radar and it just kind of flashed off before I was ready for it to. Another reason why I definitely need a new computer. This thing cannot handle different things right now. But there is a big time onshore flow pulling basically moisture into inland, into areas of the coastal areas of Charleston, Savannah. It's going to be happening all day. There's also a chance for flooding big time here in the upstate and the northern areas of Georgia and Alabama. So there's definitely a big time flood threat. I would not be surprised if this gets upgraded to a moderate risk down here in the coastal areas. This is really the areas I'm worried about. So if you're in and around Charleston, especially with the full moon in place, there is going to be some flooding between basically the next 24 to 36 hours. We look at the latest HRRR model. We'll see what's going on here. And we're getting into this morning. This picks up on this precipitation pretty well from what you were just seeing on the radar. This is basically going to be moving onshore. It's an onshore flow. You definitely have some tropical moisture that is bringing these big time tropical downpours here. The PWA8, basically the precipitation values are excessive of 2 inches to 2 inches and a quarter, which is ample enough moisture in the air to really unload a ton of water under these downpours. I got one last night, and it looked like the shower was no big than 5 or 6 or 7 miles wide, and it just happened to go right over my house, and it dumped like a half an inch of rain in 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. But going forward this afternoon, it looks like rain continues to keep pushing onshore onto these areas right here. And then you have a ton of rain going on up here in Georgia and portions of northeast Alabama, where there's also an enhanced risk of flooding. But this will continue to move northward, if you will, and it's just surging all this moisture in place here, and it's going to just be a rainy, raw Monday. It's definitely, if you're already feeling gloomy this morning, I think a lot of people do on a Monday morning, it's going to match your mood across basically South Carolina, Georgia, and things like that today. It's going to be extremely rainy, very wet, very damp, and I really think we need to worry about the Charleston area. So you look at the NAM, same kind of situation, brings a ton of rain in, and a lot of areas are going to be, all this rain is going to be moving over the same areas. So, you know, you could pick up an inch or two of rain in under an hour, and that's not going to spell good news with the high tide, the full moon, which is enhancing that high tide. So I really think we're going to see areas around Charleston really flooding. Nothing catastrophic, and it's nothing that y'all aren't quite used to, but it's always irritating to deal with, and it always hits the news, and you'll see it, and it still always manages to surprise people. So really need to watch out around the Charleston area, and even areas in Columbia and their whole state of South Carolina, especially up near Greenville, Spartanburg. A lot of heavy rain today, and this is going to continue over the next couple of days before a cold front comes through and dries everybody out. Beautiful weather. So if you look over the next 24 hours as far as how much rain can fall, this is several inches of rain down here in the corner, the far southern sections of South Carolina. And if this area of heavy rain inches a little bit further north, then you're in trouble, Charleston, as far as heavy rain. Now, widespread heavy rain across even Georgia, Atlanta could see an inch of rain. But, you know, this begins to shift more north over the next couple of days. And by Wednesday morning, the entire state of South Carolina, almost everybody in the state at least, sees an inch of rain. A lot of heavy rain on the eastern slopes of the Appalachian Mountains, so there could be some big-time flooding there. And more heavy rain in Tennessee, and just a tropical air mass before a change in air mass, which is coming in a couple of days. It's good news. We got a big time cold front coming. You look at the precipitation water values and you see why. This is just surging some insane moisture values for basically fall, which is what we're in now. And this is, precipitation water values almost exceeding 2.5 inches. That is a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So it's going to be a wet day across Georgia, South Carolina, portions of North Carolina, Alabama, and Tennessee. So gear up for that, especially if you're in a flood-prone area, an area that's already seen a lot of rain. Definitely watch out for this because it is going to get a little nasty a little bit later on, depending on your location. So thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all stay safe out there, stay dry, and have a blessed start to your week.